I want to see if I can fly. Listen, me and will see you again. Another sign of the be right. Can't find some comes back to us. It's flowing between show teeth, and I lean is watching from the corner. We will find light. Together we will find time to drive. All night. Falling down, hold on me when you're falling down.
Anybody want to get balanced? Hello. I have met a few of you. My name is Chloe Risto. I coordinate academic advising here at the Brown School. And I hope you're having a great visit here for Admitted Student Weekend. I have been tasked with balancing you out before you head into other things, other presentations and discussions. So the folks who know me would understand why I would do this. If you do not know me, my background includes things like being a cheerleader, coaching cheerleaders, being pretty active. So this balance break is active. I'm going to need everybody to rise. If you are able. Like this. Back, can you hear me? That's cool. All right. Come on, take it out. We've got arm, leg, caboose. We're going to count down from 8 down. Shaking. The webinar can't hear me. Oh, if you're at the webinar, I hope you're up too. Arm, leg, caboose. We're counting down. We'll start with 8. We'll literally out loud together say 8, 7, 6, 8, 7, 6, 8, 8, 8, and then 7, 7, 7, 7, till we get to 1. And 1 goes fast. Are we ready? Pick an arm. Say it with me. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1. All right, now you're regulated.
Hello.
You're live.
Hi, everybody. My name is Laura. I'd like to welcome you all to our current student panel. This is something that we really love and people tend to enjoy every year. So I'm very excited to get started. I'm a second-year MSW student. I'm in the Children, Youth, and Families concentration. My pronouns are she, her. I'm very excited to tap into the expertise of my lovely peers over here. You guys can come on up. Yeah, let's give a round of applause. So I'll give you guys a second to get settled. When you're ready, I'll go ahead and have you each introduce yourselves. Go ahead and say your name, your pronouns, your year, your program, and if you can remember all of these things, where you're from as well. So we'll go ahead and get started on this end.
Hello. I'm Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. My program is MSW and MSP. I'm a dual degree student, so that's social work and social policy. I'm in my second out of 3 years. And my hometown is Houston, Texas.
Hello, okay. My name is Clarissa or Clarissa. I am a MSW MPH student. I started off a little backwards. I started off at MPH, then applied to make it a dual, and now I'm doing the dual program. I was also a 3-2 student when I started. And my second year, and what am I missing? Where I'm from. I'm from Mexico and St. Louis. And I use she, her pronouns.
Hello, my name is Grace. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a second-year MSW student from Norwalk, Connecticut.
Hi, I'm Colby Crowder, he, him. I'm a social impact leadership master's of social work from Tyler, Texas.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cassandra. I am a second-year MPH student. My specialization is epidemiology and biostatistics, and I am from Nigeria.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tracy. I'm a third-year MPH MSW student. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from Ghana, but my immediate family is currently living in Claremont, Florida.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. We'll transition into our first series of questions, which are all going to be around living in St. Louis and housing. There will be time for Q&A from you all at the end. So if you have questions as they're talking, make sure you write those down, and you will have a chance to ask those questions at the end. So for starters, what do you love about the neighborhood you live in, and how and why did you choose it?
I can start off on this. I live in the Bolivar Place. It's right north of Forest Park. I love being there. I'm a huge runner. Forest Park, they talk about it a lot. It really is the gem of St. Louis. It's my favorite part, hands down. Free stuff, the art museum, the history museum, the zoo, do all of it. There's a lot of free stuff to do, and you'll need to do free stuff. This is an expensive program. I'm not gonna lie.
Do one or two more.
Yeah, I can jump in. I live very close, I guess, to Colby. I live in Skinker de Bolivar, which is right next to de Bolivar Place. And I'll speak to the other side of that neighborhood instead of the Forest Park side. I really like living so close to Del Mar on the Loop. I walk to a lot of the restaurants there, and there's a little like local game store that I really like to hang out at, check out. So yeah, that's me.
I, on the other hand, live in the Central West End, which is really close to the WashU Med campus for people who are familiar with that area. I'm gonna start with the cons. The Central West End has a lot of students, so my apartment building is a hotspot for SLU students. So there's a lot of parties that go on there that I'm not invited to, so that I guess that's why I'm kind of angry. But apart from that, I think it's a wonderful place to live. There are always people jogging, walking their dogs. There's a lot of restaurants there, and I like that it's not too far out from campus. It's honestly just a straight drive down Lindell. I think 9 minutes if you're doing 60, but apart from that, yeah, it's a really nice place to live.
Thanks, guys. How far do you live from the Brown School and how do you get here?
I can go. I live 5 minutes from campus in University City. And I have a car. But yeah, cars make living in St. Louis much easier. So I'm very grateful to have a car, but I don't know how long. There's a metro stop like kind of near my apartment, but yeah, car, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I also live in University City and I'm only 10 minutes from campus. And I also have a car, so it makes it pretty convenient. But where I'm at, because there's a lot of students who live in that area, they have a lot of the buses coming through as well.
Yeah, I also live like a 5 to 7 minute drive from campus, but it's really neat that it's like a 25-minute walk. And then also there's a lot of shuttle stops. I also live in U City, like right by the Loop, so it's a really convenient place location wise to get to campus. If the day is really nice, you can just walk, or bike, or take the shuttle, or drive if you have a car.
So you take the WashU shuttle?
Sometimes, yes.
Can you talk about what that's like?
Yeah, so there's an app, they recently changed the app, but there's an app you can get on your phone, or you can look up the schedule online. And it basically tells you like the routes, what time it's supposed to be coming. Maybe it's gotten better, but a couple of times it's left me or just hasn't come at the time. So it's really good if you like ask other students that use the shuttle and that might live in the area if like how reliably it comes, because sometimes it'll miss a couple of stops. So I'd say if you're using the shuttle system, which is really great, very helpful, plan to be there like a couple of stops before you need to get picked up. Just in case it doesn't come, then you can still just catch the next time it comes. And then like, it's not a problem. Cause there's been times where I like wait at the shuttle stop and it doesn't come. And then I'm like, do I walk? Do I wait for the next one? And then it doesn't come and then I'm late. So plan ahead.
I'll just add that the shuttle system is free for students. And if that's something you're considering, there's a map that you can find online if that would help you make a determination about where you want to live.
Well, hold up, Laura. Before we move on from the housing question, I'd like to just talk a little bit about ranges, price ranges. Once you're looking in St. Louis, I think you can expect from like 650, 700 to about 900 a month in rent. You'll find that Quadrangle is going to fill up very quickly. I know that's housing off campus that is sponsored by the university that goes very fast. Definitely look for places that are on shuttle stops, like we mentioned. but also look for the MetroLink, the Metro Bus. Those are also reliable forms of transportation.
Thanks, guys. How would you spend a weekend in St. Louis if you had both days free and no homework?
So, I would say I really like spending Saturday mornings going to one of the farmers markets in town. I prefer Tower Grove Farmers Market over Soulard. Soulard is bigger and busier, and both are very, very fun. But yeah, I would go farmers market. In the afternoon, that's a good question. Probably something in Forest Park. I really like the zoo here. So I would definitely go to the zoo. I go to the zoo pretty often, actually. Then the next day, I would definitely get brunch, like a Songbird type situation. Songbird is so good. Highly recommend if you're gonna be here for the rest of the weekend. But it will be really busy. And yeah, like evening, I like a couple of the bars in the Central West End. I'm kind of like a nerd type. So either Pieces, which is a board game bar in Soulard, or Up Down, which is an arcade bar in Central West End, I really like. Yeah.
How many of y'all are from St. Louis? Oh, a decent amount for real. So for those of you not from St. Louis, I didn't know this, but the food is really good here. So if I can afford it, that's what I'm spending my weekend doing, is just eating. And you'll find there's a lot of good spots here. So definitely do not sleep on the food scene.
Giving the unrealistic scenario of being free on the weekend, I would say, recently I have been loving the free classes at the WashU gym. Don't be like me and find out about them your last semester here, because then it costs $50 as an alum to even use it. So take advantage of them. There's Pilates, there's kickboxing. I go to yoga in the morning on Saturdays, and I go to Zumba on Sunday nights. So that's really fun. They have very fun instructors. Or you could just walk the track or run the track, but I like to walk. So if I'm not doing something at the WashU gym, if I'm not taking a class there, then I am also a really big advocate of Songbird. Especially they have like this bacon, I'm not gonna go into it. But Songbird, Up Down, there's also a lot of cool coffee places to study in St. Louis. Quarrelsome Coffee is on the street that I live. Which is really close, you could just walk there, but also be aware that if you're like living in a hotspot area for students, most of these places are gonna get full really fast. I'm talking about like full at 7 a.m. when they open. So, coffee, going to the gym, Forest Park, because like Kobe said, a lot of things there are free. But the zoo is one that I definitely recommend to people. And also just trying new restaurants. There's a new Nigerian restaurant downtown called Levels, and I spend a lot of my weekends there. So yeah.
Then if I can plug something else real quick, the botanical gardens are beautiful, highly recommend. Wonderful time, like walking through like any season, you'll find something beautiful. Also, the zoo was mentioned, okay, good. On Sunday, I would definitely go to Mass at the cathedral, even if you're not Catholic, not religious, even if you just like want to stop by on a random day. If you like architecture, history even, it's beautiful. There's so many people that, like are always going there to visit. Highly recommend. It's beautiful space. One more thing. I'll think of it, but yeah.
Now it's on. So I agree with everything that was just said. I love the Botanical Gardens. I also love the art museum. And I was there last night. On Fridays, the ticketed exhibits are free and it closes at 9. And they also, apparently they got a grant. So for the next couple of years, they're going to be having like drinks and live music. So last night there's like a violinist playing classical covers of like Senorita by Camila Cabello. And it was really fun. And they had a bartender, and he was nice. And also I like Cherokee Street. I don't go there. It's kind of far from where I live, but it's fun. They have really good tacos. And I feel like there was something else. I do really like the zoo. Tower Grove Park is really fun. What else do I do? I don't know. But yeah. There, yep.
I can go. So I spend a lot of time in parks. I know you've already heard about like Forest Park and Tower Grove Park, but I just encourage you to just check out some of the other parks in St. Louis. Like we have one called the Lemire Sculptor Park, and there's like 20 plus sculptures, and you can just walk through. And as you're going through, there's like different messages like, oh, breathe, meditate, reflect on the things that you're seeing. So that's how I would probably spend my weekend, just checking out some parks. And we have a lot of great food here that's also been talked about, but we really do have a lot of great food here in St. Louis. I remember when I first moved here, I just started to make a bucket list, and other people started to give me recommendations as well. So I'm sure that you can probably find some friends to fill some bucket lists with as well.
While we're on the subject, a lot of you have mentioned specific food places. I would love all of you to go down the line and say your top 1 or 2 places to eat in St. Louis. Or 3, if you must.
Okay, I think I'll say the places I've eaten at the most has been the Corner 17 on the Loop. Songbird is really good, and then a place I want to go but have yet to go and have only heard good things is Balkan Treat Box.
I would say, so it's always changing, but as of lately, El Torito on Cherokee Street has really good tacos. Like, I'm kind of a taco snob. Like, I'm from Mexico. I've had really good tacos, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good here. So El Torito, highly recommend. I went to a place for the first time yesterday, and it's called Himalayan Yeti. I have no idea if it's authentic Indian food. I don't know, but it's really good. Someone from India can probably try it and let me know if it's any good. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's northern and southern Indian food that they serve. And Sushi AI, if you like sushi, is pretty good. I've never really lived on any coast, so I don't know. But for my standards, being from the Midwest, it's pretty good sushi.
Okay, so I was gonna say like all of those that you just said. But I'll try. Okay, so Taco Buddha is good. If you're gluten-free, it's great. They have like a Nashville hot chicken taco that's excellent, and it's gluten-free. And yeah, what else do I like? I really like Songbird. I go there whenever I have visitors. And I like Fork and Sticks, which is off the Loop. They have Thai food. It's pretty good. But yeah.
I'll give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner plans. For breakfast, Uncle Bill's Pancakes, best pancakes in the city, hands down. For lunch in the Grove, the Gramophone, really awesome sandwiches. Get the Helper. It's got red hot Ripley's, macaroni and cheese. It looks like a monstrosity, but it tastes really good. And finally, we'll get a little classier for dinner. Michael's in Maplewood is a really good Greek restaurant. Mhm.
So they stole half of mine, but I'm gonna say if you go to Gramophone, you should get the General Patton. I don't know what Kobe's talking about. But the General Patton sandwich, extra bacon, is gonna change your life. But apart from that, I am a big advocate of Levels. It's a Nigerian restaurant downtown. If you're looking for authentic Nigerian food, that's a classic. I mean, I'm Nigerian, so I think my advice is pretty solid. You're welcome. Another place, First Watch. I'm very picky and I like very basic food, and I love that they have variety at First Watch. I'm forgetting somewhere very important. So I love St. Louis style Chinese food. I don't eat Chinese food, but St. Louis style Chinese food for some reason, especially the house special fried rice, because it just has everything. But if you're gonna get Chinese food in St. Louis, I mean, I think you should go to St. Louis Kitchen in Maplewood, not the other locations. Just go to the one in Maplewood, next to Maplewood Nails. So yes, exactly. So if you go to the nail shop, also, if you want to get your nails done in St. Louis, Maplewood Nails, and then you could get Chinese food right after from the place next door.
I would second both the Balkan Treat Box and Levels. I've been to both of those places and they're really good. So if you like Indian food, I recommend the Curry Club. It's a little bit farther out in like the Ellisville area, but it's really, really good Indian food. And I would also say this place called Sentai Asian Bistro. So if you like Thai food, that's another great place.
Awesome. We're going to transition to some questions about life at the Brown School and about working part-time. So for starters, for those of you who work, how did you find your part-time job? And if you moved here, or even if you were starting school, when in the process did you start working?
So I'll take the lead on that. Like I said, yeah, there's gonna be some bills while you're here. I really advocate working on campus. So I've had a variety of jobs. I've worked as a research assistant with a professor. Please approach your professors that you're interested in their research. They're very open to bringing on research assistants, especially if they have a grant or a project. So be very aware of that. I've worked with the Gebhardt Institute here, which is a civic engagement arm of campus. That was a great job as well. And currently I'm working for the Center for Social Development, which is upstairs here, a research lab. I did at one point, when the funds were getting pretty low, worked as a receptionist at Massage Envy. Do not advocate for that. Definitely lean into the on-campus opportunities. This is going to be a pretty heavy workload, and just being very transparent. They're going to be, these on-campus jobs are going to be much more accommodating for your needs and your schedules. So if you can snag an on-campus job, definitely do if you need it.
I'm gonna go ahead and echo what Colby just said. So I've been working at the dean's office for most of the time that I've been here. And originally I had applied for like administrative assistant position and did not get that position, but they offered me another job based on a project they had going on. And I've been doing that for the last, I would say, like year and a half, little longer. And they are super flexible and accommodating and super understanding that like you are a student in like difficult times in the semester. They know that it's difficult times in the semester because they are here and they see how everybody is doing, and they like I've been approached by my manager to like make sure that like I'm okay. Do I need to take like extra time off so that I can like make sure to like get finals done or like get a bunch of projects done? They're super flexible with timing. I've also had experience of them being super flexible with like in person versus working from home. Yeah, it's been like a fantastic experience being a part-time worker here on campus. Yeah.
So I actually used to work at the Dean Suite too as a student assistant with Sarah, but that was for a year. And then I worked as a research assistant with a professor here. He's not here anymore. I was going to put him on the spot. But I worked, I was basically translating or helping get informational interviews from people that were participating in the research project. And my current job is designing graphics for a lab at the Med campus. So I kind of created my current role. I don't want to say created, but I pitched myself as a graphic designer and I was hired. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to leverage your skills here. Talk to your professors. There are a lot of people who are doing very serious work and they always need students, but most times they're not advertising that information because they're so busy. So if you hear a professor mention a project that they're working on in class, ask about it, ask how you can maybe volunteer your time. Oftentimes that turns into a paid position. I don't think there are any international students in here. Didn't know. Okay. I'm an international student, so finding on-campus jobs is my area's expertise. But apart from that, I would say always check your emails. There are a lot of times where I neglect an email, but it's actually a job opportunity that career services or DEI is sending out. But oftentimes professors will ask other departments on campus to just do email blasts to the whole Brown School about job opportunities. So make sure that you're looking at all your emails. You get a lot of emails just being a student here. You probably already have 1,000 from admissions and everyone else that's trying to get in contact with you. But go through those emails. Some of them have job offers, and yeah, just network. I cannot stress that enough.
I'll just add before we move on, in addition to working for admissions, which is very fun, I also do some caretaking part-time. I do nannying for kids and also some work with people with disabilities. And all of those jobs have either come from care.com or there's a Facebook page for Brown School alum and students where people post work opportunities all the time. I really recommend, like, even now, if you're thinking about coming here, request to join that group, because I see opportunities even for post-grad positions. So I just wanted to highlight that. All right, on average, for you workers, how many hours do you work a week? And how do you balance that with coursework and practicum?
So my current part-time job, I work 15 hours. With the social work students, public health, I feel typically does their practicum in the summer. We're social workers, we're doing classes, practicum, and trying to fill our fridge all at the same time. So often that gets pretty hectic. But again, like I said, with these on-campus jobs, that's why it's so crucial. That 15 hours, somebody mentioned the flexibility of in-person, online, that definitely helps as well. So just find something. They talk a lot about balance. You're not really gonna have that. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. And find things that aren't going to fatigue you. It's gonna be a lot in the classroom, so don't put all that weight on yourself outside of the classroom as well.
Yeah, I'm currently in my social policy year. So I don't have practicum right now. I'm more in that situation where I'm gonna be having an internship over the summer. So this year I've been working, I've been working 15 hours a week. And that's worked well for me. When I was in my social work year doing practicum at the same time, I was working anywhere between, I would say, like 10 and 15 hours, based on like how intense practicum was or how intense like the school course load is. So yeah, that's part of where that flexibility comes in, is like being able to say like, oh, I actually can't handle so much of my job right now because I need to focus on X, Y, Z instead.
Yeah. I've been working like 8 to 12 hours this semester, as a dual degree student, right now in my social work year. And I have my dual practicum coming up this summer. So in the semester, I have to finish all 360 hours on my social work foundation. So I've been doing like 24 hours a week of unpaid practicum. And that doesn't leave tons of room for like, schoolwork and then also a job. So it is hard to find that balance, but it kind of just took sitting down, doing some math, like what's the bare minimum I have to work so that I can pay my bills each month. And then from there, trying to like keep that up each week. And yeah, the flexibility in research work or other jobs is really, really helpful, because like the 8 to 12 range comes in. So I work at the Brown School Library, and that is nice to have that like, each week. But then I also do research assistant work. And for that, the hours are like a little bit flexible, like sometimes I have to do more coding some weeks than others for like what I'm doing. And it's really good to have good communication with like the professors I'm working with, and be like, hey, can we maybe extend the deadline a little bit? I'm struggling this week. There's a lot going on. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say that it's like really important to just communicate your needs when things get a lot. Cause like right now I'm doing maybe like 10 to 15 hours of babysitting work. But other semesters that were heavy and I was having to do practicum and school and I was doing more time for my job. There were times when maybe I had to email a certain professor and let them know that I might not be able to get a certain assignment the exact day that it was due. Maybe I had to ask for a week extension, a week and a half extension. So I know sometimes you might feel weird. You feel like you always have to like be on top of everything, but it's okay to just ask for what you need. If for practica, maybe there's one week that's just really intense. Maybe you can just cut back on the hours a little bit and figure out how you can shift some of the time around. Or like I said, with your classes, the due date, if you can't make it, just ask your professor, so that's what I would that's my advice for you.
Thank you all. Why did you choose the Brown School?
Well, I chose the Brown School because my professors in undergrad were like, go there. And I also think St. Louis, like I'm from the Northeast, and I didn't really think I was ever gonna come to the Midwest for any other reason. So I was like, okay, it would be cool to like experience St. Louis. And yeah, it has a good reputation with my professors, my social work professors. So I was like, okay, I will go there. And here I am.
So I was the opposite. I didn't hear about WashU until like April of my senior semester. And I was living outside of Kansas City. So like 3 hours from here, I didn't hear about this program. I was on my way to Vanderbilt. It's really where I wanted to be. But I fell in love with the issues in St. Louis. For the social workers and really everybody that does social impact, this is a place that needs it. This is a place that they talk a lot about working outside of the classroom. You're really going to see these elements that you're learning in the classroom here in St. Louis. Go north of Delmar Loop. Go north. Nobody at this school does. You need to go north. You need to experience North City, North County. That's part of St. Louis. I know we've talked a lot about the Loop and South City and everything, but go north, experience the entirety of St. Louis. The Delmar Divide, that concept, are y'all familiar with that concept? So that preceded me being here. It's some of the starkest disparities in the nation. And like I said, this is a place that is needing of social work, and public health. So while you're here, be here in St. Louis.
Should we do one more?
Yeah, sure. So for my decision, I was stuck between the University of Michigan and the Brown School. So when I was just weighing the pros and cons, I was going through all the faculty pages and I was just trying to figure out which faculty members were having interests that were very similar to mine. And when I was going through the Brown School faculty page, I got excited because I saw a lot of Black professors who were doing a lot of great work in the community. And, for most of my life, I've just gone to different types of institutions and I just wanted to be in a space where I would be able to connect with a lot of Black faculty. So it was really exciting for me to see that the Brown School, there's a lot of them, they're doing great work. Because I have interest in just working with people who are impacted by our criminal legal system. And I've been able to meet a lot of good professors who are very knee deep in the community and who are doing work in this area. So.
Thanks, guys. How would you describe the community and culture at the Brown School?
I'd say two words that come to mind are collaborative and curious. I find that among peers, among faculty, if I ever have like a question or a problem that I'm working through in classes, I can just talk to peers, talk to faculty, and they're always so willing to help, so willing to work with you, and share their thoughts, share their experiences, which is awesome because it really helps us be more creative in our solutions and our approaches, but then also you just learn from the plethora of perspectives and backgrounds that we have. And curious, I mean, yeah, everyone has so many different interests and it's beautiful getting to see that and bringing that into our work.
I love bragging on my classmates. These people are brilliant. I have really benefited from being the least intelligent in every classroom that I've been in. Learned from my classmates. I will say I don't know, are there any men going into the social work program? Yes, you were few and in between. Yes, I will say I'm one of maybe 10 in my cohort. You're you're really going to find that you're going to be part of this community. Don't feel left out in this. Really engage yourself. And like you said, curiosity. I love that word. Be curious. Find those things that interest you and engage with your fellow classmates. You're going to be all the better for it if you engage with your peers here.
Okay. I think for me, I will say, since we're using like one word, I'm just gonna say helpful. So I transferred to WashU after, I mean, I was at UMSL for 2 years, right when COVID started. So I don't think I got any 4-year experience in college. But coming to WashU has been, I feel like this is my college experience. Especially being from Nigeria, there's a very huge international student population. I've learned a lot from the domestic students, exploring St. Louis, exploring the US as a whole. But outside of that, like people are very willing to share information and opportunities. And I think it cuts across all levels of both faculty, staff, students. With faculty, like people will connect you with job opportunities, practicum opportunities. Some of you might find out that your practicum opportunity comes from conversations with your professor or just mentioning something that you were interested in to a student. I've been sent job opportunities to apply for post-graduation from deans, which is not something I've ever had in any of the other schools that I went to. But apart from that, there's just a very big commitment to making sure that you succeed and excel as a student. People will check in with you. Career services will email you all the time. They do dropping hours. People just want to make sure that they're accessible, which is not something that a lot of schools have. I feel like just in my experience, and even in the schools that I was applying to, with hierarchies, we tend to like stick to those untouchable, out of reach levels and just schemas that we set for people. But here at the Brown School, you find that it's a little different. You could just walk into Goldfarb and see Dean Traub there and just ask her like, oh, hey, I applied for this and I didn't hear back, and she will work on it. But everyone here is so committed to making sure that your experience as a student is impactful and beneficial and very helpful to your growth as a person and as a social worker or as a public health professional.
Thank you all. We're going to do one more question before transitioning into questions from the audience, and I would like everybody to answer this one. What advice do you have for incoming students as it relates to being a grad at the Brown School? And is there anything that you wish you knew before you started?
I think I could start with the second part. Things I wish I knew before I started. That WashU had free workout classes. Like, honestly, if I knew about that when I applied here, I mean, Pilates classes are so expensive outside of WashU, but you just pay like $10 to go to Pilates, reformer Pilates, not the yoga mat Pilates, reformers, like full on equipment. Like there's kickboxing. I just wish I knew about the gym resources at WashU, even though the gym is very far. It's honestly, I feel like if you're gonna walk all the way to the gym, you might as well just walk back because you did a workout. But honestly, not taking advantage of the gym completely. I feel like also the writing center. If you're a student who's like, I consider myself a really great writer, some of these classes will really show you like you might be a great writer, but you might need a little push. So not fully taking advantage of all the resources that the Writing Center had to offer. I feel like some of my work could have been definitely a lot better if I had a set of eyes from the Writing Center look at it. But what's your first question? Advice. So my advice is don't let the imposter syndrome stop you from enjoying everything that WashU has to offer. There have been times where I felt like not going to an event or I just felt like I didn't have to interact with people, especially if you came from a commuter undergrad where you just went to school and go home. I wouldn't advise you to do that here because you miss out on so many opportunities not putting yourself in spaces that WashU has specifically created for you to thrive. So take advantage of that. It's very easy to feel like you don't belong here, but you got accepted and you are in Admitted Students Week, finding out about how you can be the best version of yourself if you decide to go here. I hope you decide to go here. But yeah, like just don't let that little voice in your head that tells you that you're not supposed to be here. It can feel very intimidating walking around this Harry Potter style campus, but you deserve to be here, take advantage of it and get to know people because some of these people in this room are going to be the people that get you through the 2 or 3 years that you have at WashU. So rely on your friends, rely on your network, rely on your family, call people. And yeah, you deserve to be here. And just have that in the back of your mind that you got in, you deserve to be here, and you are going to crush it in whatever role you decide to do post-graduation.
Well, one of us has to follow that up. I'd say my probably biggest advice would be to get to know your professors. I think so often in many of my semesters, I've just like kept my head down a lot, like in my work, in the sense that it's just like so much is going on, and all I'm focusing on is how to get to that next assignment, how to get that submission, right? And then at the end of the semester, I'm like, wow, I learned about like really late about some really cool research the professor was doing or about their work. And I'm like, man, I should have talked to them more in class. And like, of course you can still reach out. You can reach out to professors that you don't even have in classes. But yeah, just get to know the faculty. Like we have such like talented, well-experienced, well-researched folks here. And it's, yeah, take advantage of that. It is such a gift, such an opportunity to learn from them. They're really passionate about what they're doing. So if you get the chance, definitely learn from them. Go to their office hours, set up a meeting. I don't know, do it. I didn't do it enough in my first semesters. And I'm definitely realizing I should do that now in the time that I have here.
I'll say my big piece of advice, network hard while you're here. Like I said, these students are brilliant. You're brilliant. We're going to be going and doing work all over the world. That's going to be very important as we move forward with our missions. All of you are here for some type of cause. You're passionate about something. These people that you meet here are going to be instrumental in you approaching those objectives. And also be very brave. This is a unique space in St. Louis where the change makers, the shakers are accessible. You're going to be able to be in some offices and talking with some people that you wouldn't have expected to be able to. Wear this Brown School brand, understand what it means, and use it to further your cause, further your mission. And the one thing I wish I knew was we have, is it $60 for printing? $60 for printing, I think? Yeah, use it. Use it. And there's color printing in the library. Yeah.
So I would say just remember that you are like somebody who had skills and talents and like hopes and dreams and all these joys before you came to the Brown School, because there's going to be times like when you're here that things are just going to get so busy, and it can be so easy to just want to get yourself knee deep in that schoolwork, and you can start to lose sight of the things that really matter to you as well. So the things that you came in here with that you love, like you use this next 2 years, 3 years, however long that you're here, to just deepen that more. Like whatever brought you joy, do it more. You know, if you want to go on a road trip with some friends, do it. You know, that one time that you want to just plan a nice dinner with some friends, don't hesitate. Just go ahead and lean into your community, lean into the things that make you happy. Because like I said, those are the things that are, when things get really hard, it's going to just encourage you and push you to keep going. So just do things that bring you joy.
Yeah, I want to, I think, echo what a lot of these people have said already. Like, I cannot emphasize the importance of networking and like connecting with your professors or your practicum supervisors, and like the opportunities and like the skills and application of what you're learning in the classroom in the real life, that can lead you to. And I think mainly I want to echo what Tracy just said, which is like cultivate your life. Like, don't forget that you are not like, you are not just a student, you are a whole person. It's really easy with part-time work and practicum and classwork and like the state of the world to like kind of lose a little bit of like yourself and like forget that you are a whole person with like a lot of different facets. And so like really make sure to like set time aside like for yourself and for your needs and your desires and your fun things and make sure that you do them. I had a professor recently in one of my classes that was like, hey, if you guys aren't getting out part of that class, we always start that class with like, what's going on in St. Louis that you guys are doing this week, like kind of announcement type things. And yeah, that professor was like, if you are not like doing any of these things, if you're just like head in the books, keeping only with schoolwork and not doing anything else, like don't do one of your readings this week. Like go out and do something because like you need it for yourself and for your lifeblood. So yeah, cultivate your life outside of just the program for sure.
Yes, I agree with basically everything that everyone said. Definitely I think like professors really care about you. Shout out to Molly Metzger, who's right there. She's great. And a lot of professors just really want you to like do the best you can, and are doing really great things. And I also think like St. Louis, as Colby kind of said, like St. Louis is a really unique place to do social work. And I think I really value like familiarizing myself with St. Louis in a lot of different ways, like accessing all the fun, like recreational things that they have, but also like familiarizing myself with like the organizations that are doing a lot of work here. Cause I think it's really helpful to contextualize like what we're doing and why we're here. And there's just so much cool work happening. So I think that's a really cool thing. And even if you're from the area, you might not know, like at least like where I grew up, for example, I don't know what's happening there. Like I don't know if there are like any organizations doing great work. So I think like having that shifting your perspective and like really like looking below and seeing like what is actually happening, who's making things happen, and just like getting to know St. Louis, I think is really helpful.
Thank you all so much. We have a few minutes for audience questions now. So if you have a question for any or all of our panelists, feel free to raise your hand or stand up and I'll just have you shout it out. So the question was, how far in advance do you need to secure an apartment?
Sorry, I can speak on this because I got an apartment like in August and I was starting in August. So apparently you don't have to do it that far in advance. The one thing is like there's a roommate sheet that I was looking at in like the summer, but like everyone else had found their roommates in like March or honestly like February, January. So I lived alone, which wasn't ideal for me, but yeah, there's so much. I lived in Clayton my first year, which I probably wouldn't live there again because it's not as cool as other places, but it was very nice, very chill, good for me. But yeah, so I found it very short notice and it was a very nice apartment. So there's always places to live, which is cool. But don't do what I did. But it worked out. It'll work out.
Colby mentioned earlier that the quadrangle housing goes really fast. I currently live in quadrangle housing. I actually walk to campus every day that I have stuff here. And it's like a 10-minute walk. It's very convenient. I basically reached out to someone at Quadrangle and probably around end of March, kind of now time. And they were able to give me like multiple options that were in my price range and my like size range and that were pet friendly. I have 2 cats. And it worked out very well. I'm gonna end up living there for the full 3 years. So highly recommend if you can get it because it does run out very quickly. But yeah.
More questions? So she asked to walk her through a typical day in the life of a Brown School student.
I can do a day in my life on a Wednesday because that's the only day I come to campus. So on Wednesdays, I mean, I wake up, I come to campus, I drive here, I listen to music in my car, and then I park, and then I calculate how much I need to pay for parking after. But I have two classes on Wednesdays. So one class at 9, which gets out at 11, and that is Gender, Poverty, and Global Health. Awesome class. Awesome class. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, take it. And then I have a break from 12 to 1, which I usually just use to get food. What's it? The Pavilion, Schnucks Pavilion over there has awesome food. I get the rib tips and French fries because I love them. And then I would walk back here to Hillman. All my classes are in Hillman or Goldfarb, which is the building that is right next to Hillman, and you can connect to Goldfarb through the underground basement. And then I have class at 1, which is harm reduction, also super recommend. Harm reduction is from 1 to 4, got out of class at 4, say hi to my friends for 30 minutes to an hour, and then I go home because I don't want to pay too much for parking. So if you're like me and you're very money conscious, because if you come to campus Monday through Friday, that is like $15 on parking every single day. That's a lot of money. So I plan my schedule in such a way that I would have to be on campus as minimally as possible. So, but this is my last semester, so I have less classes to take than someone who would probably be in their first year. So you would probably be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But yeah, if parking is a very big thing for you, you could talk to me after this and I'll tell you all the tips and tricks I did to make sure I pay as little as possible for parking. But that is a typical good day in my life on Wednesdays.
I'll talk about my Tuesdays. I don't see Barry Rosenberg, so I'm gonna be a little more honest. I have his 9 a.m. class on Tuesdays, so if I wake up on time and get to the shuttle, I'll be on time for class, but if not, he's understanding for the most part. So from 9 to 12, I'm in class. 12-ish, something I really love about our program is Goldfarb Commons. We don't talk about it a lot, but we'll go eat lunch there a lot of times after class. I feel that's been a really central part to just bonding as a community. And by the way, a lot of my days around food. So then I go to work from whatever until about 5, and Scandalaire Center and some other places, Gebhardt Institute on Tuesdays. They have free food. And the grad center. Yes, you're gonna try to find as much free food as you can because that's how you're gonna stay fed. The Scandalaire Center does their supper club. Gebhardt Institute does their civic cafes on Tuesdays. And I'll switch it up, get a little variety in my food and go to one or the other. And then I get home, I'll do a little bit of homework, maybe. And yeah, then I go to bed and get ready for Wednesday.
All right, we're running up on time, but I think we have time for one more question. If there is one. Oh, yes.
You mentioned working on campus. In your experience, what was the best way?
The question was, what was the best way to find jobs on campus? And I think I'll stick to just one answer on this one.
I'll say definitely, like as Cassandra was saying, emails, read your emails, read them. They have resources, but also talking to peers. I found out about openings at the Brown School Library through a friend that worked there. And I was telling her like, I need another job. Do you know any places? And she was like, oh yeah, the Brown School Library. They're like looking for some students right now. So definitely talk to your peers, talk to faculty, read your emails. Those are all great places to learn about job opportunities. And handshake.
Great, thank you. If there are more questions, feel free to find one of us in the black shirts after, or if these guys stick around, seek them out. You can also send us an email at brownadmissions@woostoledu at any time. So that concludes our panel. Thank you guys so much. Let's give them a round of applause. And we'll transition to an announcement.
Congrats on being admitted, by the way.
Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. Awesome. So y'all are almost out of here. By the way, my name is Sarah Dexter, she, her pronouns. I'm another one of our admissions folks. You could probably tell from the shirt. But I just want to say thank you all for coming here today, for choosing to spend your time with us. You have a choice. You have lots of choices for programs. You had a choice to be here, and we just want to thank you for being so present and engaged and a part of that because we don't take that choice lightly. So thank you, first and foremost. I know I'm keeping you from our ice cream social, but because we are evidence-based and we love research, in your folder, you will find an event evaluation form. We would love your feedback. These events have looked differently the past couple of years, pre-COVID, post-COVID. So basically, we would love to know your thoughts. What worked well? What can we improve on? So if you could fill this out, if you need pens, I have pens, happy to pass those around. And then if you could just leave your evaluation on the table, that would be awesome. So you don't have to do it this moment if you're really dying for that ice cream, but any feedback we would have is great. And then if you exit these doors, we have ice cream and fits of soda and lots of other goodies for y'all to take part in. So thank you again. We really appreciate you. Oh, there are tours. Yeah, there's some optional tours. I think those kick off at 3. And where are we meeting? 3 o'clock at the check-in table. Awesome. Great question. Thanks, y'all.